My father always had a saying, if the food is good and consistent, the most important thing is service.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you go into work with a positive attitude as the boss or a manager, those people will be positive too. I truly believe investing in your employees is huge. My average employee's been with me for 10 years, 10 to 12 years. I go, I can sell him the food and make an extra 30%, but I want this guy to order from me 4 more times this year, hopefully. The culture is not screwing people over. In order to do something right for the customer, this is what you have to do.
Hey guys, Tim here from Foodie Coaches. Welcome to Make Restaurants Profitable. And I'm here today with Nick Palmeri. Welcome. Thank you. Who are you? Where are you from for the people listening right now?
Okay, I'll make it really short. I own Gaetano's Ristorante in Henderson, Nevada. My family has been in the restaurant business for 43 years.
Okay.
My father was Gaetano. Our original restaurant was in Calabasas, California. We were there from 1981 to 2001.
Oh, wow.
And then we opened up the location in Henderson in 2002. We've been there for 23 years. I started in the restaurant business when I was 10 years old. I pretty much grew up in the restaurant business. Very cheap child labor. When my parents had 3 boys, hey, you get a lot of money out of them.
It's 3 wages you get to save.
Exactly. I actually started at the location here when a week after I graduated high school. I've been working there ever since. I tried to get out of the restaurant business numerous times. It kept sucking me back because I love it so much. And I'm here for life.
This is such a common story of like people growing up, going away, coming back, and they're just in love with it.
Yes.
What do you love about the restaurant industry so much?
Well, if you ask someone like me who's a restaurateur, they love everything about it. I know how to dishwash. I know how to clean toilets. I know how to food prep. I know how to cook. I know how to bartend. I know how to bus, food run, serve tables, manage, accountant, receiving orders.
You wear all hats.
I love it. It's like a rush to me. It's wild. It's like a rush. And I think the passion, a lot of it comes with the customer service aspect. And then also the fresh ingredients that we use and just sharing the passion of Italian cooking and cocktail culture and wine with everybody. You know, it's almost like with Italian food, there's so many variables of things that can blend together to make it so great. And that's what I love about it. When you have some cuisines, I'm not knocking any cuisines down, but you have some cuisines and it's very basic. You know, you have like, certain things with tropical fruits and chicken and rice and this and that, but they don't grow wine in their country. And they don't have these like famous elixirs that have been around for 200 years that people drink regularly around the world. So stuff like that I love.
Now tell me, you've come from a family who's like been in restaurants, lived and breathed it. I would imagine that, started at 10 working for mum and dad, and now you've got to where doing what you're doing now. How have you adapted through managing that family relationship all the way through? Because, I've heard people in the past, they come in, they take over from their parents, but they've always got mum and dad in their ears. You can do this, you can't do this. And it's always that strain. How have you guys been successful as working through as a family? Do you have some basic foundations there?
Let me put it this way. I'll start it off first of working with my father. He was my mentor, my best friend. I worked with him 5-6 days a week. He passed away 6 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. He was probably one of the best but most difficult people to work with. Because when he grew up in Italy, it was post World War II. He went to hospitality school. He also, when he was like 16, 17, he left Sicily to move to northern Italy to work the Riviera. He had cousins up there and he heard, Ravello, Portofino, all these places. So he worked up in Genoa area. And then he worked on cruise ships and for 12 years, traveled the world and some of the best restaurants in LA before opening up his own restaurant. But the problem is nowadays to what is going on now or back then is that hospitality was like the military in a way. When they taught you, it was like, you come in, you do this, you set up your station like this, you do this, you do this, you have to do this, you have to press, everything has to be pressed, you have to look a certain way. Everything had standards. And I feel working with him, he taught me those standards. If I showed up to work one day with a little bit of a wrinkle on my shirt or little stain I forgot to get out, you know, he'd be like, hey, next time you're going home, you got to change your shirt. And I sort of, I'm more laissez-faire, laid back, managerial style because, you know, I got employees who come and, you know, they love working for me. But if you're on their ass all the time, it ain't going to work out. Yeah. So when it came to working with family, I think the transition was long. Yeah. When people talk about sweat equity, I'd probably sweat the amount that would fill up a swimming pool at someone's house. That's how much sweat equity I put in. Yeah. Like I tell people, in the 23 years we've been open at the restaurant, without having vacation time, just days off, I've probably only taken probably 5 months of time off in 23 years. Yeah, well. So I'm a workaholic. Yeah. So when it came to transition, the best part about my advantage was my mom wasn't a restaurant person, but she ran the books. She knew how to do all the accounting and a little bit of the marketing and all that.
So dad ran all the
front of the house,
and mom ran all the back of the house.
I went to UNLV for a marketing degree. Okay. So I got a business background. Yep. Dad taught me front of the house, back of the house. Yep. Mom taught me the books. So I'm sort of like the jack of all trades.
You kind of got the triangle there.
Yeah, I got everything. That's so cool. I know every aspect, like we were talking about before. I know every aspect of the restaurant business from back, front, when it comes to financing, banking, all that stuff. Yep.
And then, so obviously your father passed, which you took on more of a role managing the show.
Yeah. So the year that he was still alive, I was sort of like transitioning more into it. Yeah. But the crazy thing is they got to a point where I was not interested in the restaurant at all. Yeah. Okay. Here's a quick story. And I was trying to get out again. Yeah. And this was my last time trying to get out. Me and my best friend started up a business, didn't work out. COVID happened. Okay. Yeah. And my dad died 6 months before COVID. When COVID happened, I worked 6 months straight. Actually, the blessing was I was in LA the week before we closed down for COVID. I was in LA the night that they closed down. So I saw a week ahead of everybody else. So I was like buying
this
stuff.
Is what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was buying to-go containers. I was buying extra meat and fish and vacuum sealing and freezing it. And I was ahead of the game. And then what happened was at one point my parents were trying to sell the restaurant. May of 2020, we met with the potential owners. And I look at my mom and I look at him and I go, I worked my ass off too much during COVID. We can't give this up. I'm like, these people are jokers. They want to pay me next to nothing to run the business for a year and then tell me to go see where the sun doesn't shine. Yeah. I go, I'll buy it from you. That's what I did. Okay. My wife and I bought it from my mom.
And then this is it now. Made the decision. You're in. That was D-Day. Not going to try and escape again. Yeah. Okay. What do you think is the key to running a successful restaurant right now in this day and age?
My father always had a saying, and I still say it every week to customers and to people that I run into. If the food is good and consistent, the most important thing is service. Yeah. Because I can go into a restaurant 5 times in 2 months, or just say 5 times in 3 months to make it more realistic. And if I see the same people in there every single time, and they don't recognize me, I probably won't go back. Yep. So like I have a little sushi spot down from my house in the restaurant. I love it. Family owned, small. They treat me like I'm family. It's great. They're like, oh, how you doing, sir? This and that. And they know me as the pasta guy because of the Italian restaurant down the street. So anyways, they know who I am and whatnot. I truly feel to run a successful restaurant right now. Yeah. Customer service. Like you could have a restaurant the size of this the studio,
Yeah.
right? But it has to be clean.
Yep.
Things have to be clean.
Yep. It's all the small
People
things.
have to look like they brushed their hair that day
Yeah.
that work there. They have to show that they care. If they don't care, you have to get somebody else. And another thing too is if you find talent, you have to pay your people.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem.
Yep.
I feel like when I took over the restaurant from my mom, I had to build up capital to like have a emergency fund just in case another COVID or whatever happens, another recession. So the thing is, months that you do good, you don't even touch that money.
Yep.
Because it's like, hey, maybe at the end of the year, we'll give the guys a nice Christmas bonus. Hey, with inflation, so comes with wage increases.
Yeah.
So if someone's like, hey, I've been here 2 years, I'm still making the same money, I'm still doing a lot of work, maybe, you give them a little raise. I truly believe investing in your employees is huge.
Yeah.
My average employee's been with me for 10 years, 10 to 12 years. Yeah.
What's your secret for that? Obviously, and it's not about money either. You're putting away money for a rainy day to help give these guys a bonus is one thing, but because hospitality is a traditional transient industry.
Yes.
People stay for 12 months, 2 years.
Yes.
It's rare that you hear the average employee stayed for 10. So what do you think the secret is?
What I'm going to say right now might have people like, are you kidding me? But this industry is sort of cutthroat.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I don't want to say shady, but there's a lot of like squirrely people in the hospitality business.
Yeah.
You have to treat your employees like human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You can't treat them like, oh, this person is a dishwasher, so they can do this.
Yeah, they're
stuff.
not another number.
They're not another number.
Yeah, they have feelings, they've got goals, they've got aspirations.
And they want to excel in life.
Yeah.
I've dishwashed before. Actually love dishwashing.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but I had an incident that my dishwasher got hurt, cut his finger, had to take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
I have a pair of kitchen clothes in my office. I threw them on, took my suit off, I threw it on, and I started dishwashing.
I reckon you enjoyed that day.
I don't care. I was like, I used to do this. It's nice. The hot steam would get into your face and whatnot, but to get back to my point, I believe if your food is consistent, it is the quality of service and the quality of your people.
Yeah. So maintaining standards.
Yes. And I feel like if you go into work with a positive attitude as the boss or a manager, those people will be positive too.
Ooh, okay. So standards, positivity. I like this. We're going to keep digging into this. So it comes down to leadership, but I think when you said before about your father had very high standards.
Yes.
The standards you set within your restaurant, I think determines how your employees show up.
Right. And
if you have high standards and you hold your team accountable to high standards, I feel like they've got more respect for the business as well.
Of course.
So that's the first thing. So setting great standards, treating people like people. So when we start coming back to holding these guys here for like 10 years and not holding them, but these guys wanting to, because they could get a job at any restaurant.
Right.
Why do you think they stay with you? So it's family, it's standards, it's the positivity inside the business.
This might be a jokingly way to say it. I pay them on time.
Yeah. No, but that's not a joke. That's not a joke. It's actually a fucking thing in this industry.
It's crazy.
People need to get paid.
I could say this because the restaurant's closed and the guy sort of like disappeared, but there was a guy who was notorious restaurateur who kept opening up restaurants.
Yeah.
You can Google it. I'm not even going to say his name because his breath doesn't even, his name doesn't even mean anything to me. But I had several employees work there that he didn't pay him for months because he had a gambling and some other issues that I really don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
And one of my employees like, hey, I had to sell a car just to pay my rent because this guy never paid me. And I'm like, how could you be with this guy for so long? He goes, well, he kept promising and he was.
Yeah.
Long story short, there's a lot of like shysters that do stuff like that in this industry, and it infuriates me.
Yeah.
And there's also some other people too. One of my employees who started off as a dishwasher, now he's a salad guy and does all my homemade pastas.
Okay.
And he was working at a competitor of mine.
Yep.
I'm not going to say the name. And this guy's been working for me 10 years at that point. And he would come in and always be like, his eyes would be half open. He'd be exhausted. And I go, hey, buddy, what's going on with your life? Like, why? Tell me your schedule. And he goes, I'm here from 8 to 2:30. And then I work for you from 3 to 9:30. And I go, how many kids do you have again? He goes, I have 2. One of them his oldest one has severe autism. All right.
Okay.
So I factored out how much I was paying him at the restaurant. And I factored out how much he was getting paid at the competitor's restaurant.
Yeah.
And I offered him a deal where I said, hey, I'm going to pay you what you make at both restaurants, but you have to commit me 5 days for this hours.
Yep.
You get a break, everything. So he gave the competitor 2 weeks. Guy didn't pay him. So he went to the labor board, got the money.
Yeah.
But the beautiful part about this story is from him working 5 days,
the
hours that we agreed to, he can see his kids more.
Yep.
He doesn't have to work from 8 to 2:30.
Yeah.
He starts work at noon.
Yep.
And he bought a house in the process.
Yeah.
So stories like that is what's
holds
beautiful
people.
About it.
Yeah.
That people want to work for me, you know?
Yeah. As owners, and it's not spoken about enough, is that we've actually got an obligation for every single person that works for us to help grow them. And when they leave our company, they need to be a better version of themselves.
Of course.
And be in a better position.
Of course.
And I don't think this happens enough in the restaurant industry where owners sit down with their team and go, what are your goals?
Right.
What do you want to achieve? How can I help you achieve
Right.
that? Because we're so focused on just keeping the doors open.
Right. And I think a lot of times too, there's some people that you do hire and they look great on paper and
That ruin it for everyone else.
And the first 2 weeks. And then what happens is they're sort of a virus because they're into some vices or they're into doing some other things. And you're just like, you know what? I don't need this cancer here.
Yeah.
Once I see a cancer, I literally get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know?
What let's talk about that culture piece, because I think culture and positivity, and we've all seen it. We have, all we need is one negative person inside of our business.
Right.
And all of a sudden that culture of positivity goes out the window really fucking quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me early signs. When do you spot it?
Well, like I said, I've been in this business since I've been 10 years old. I can typically spot it within 3 or 4 work days.
Yeah, I was going to say first shift, first week.
There's instances when I was a server and I trained new people.
Yep.
They put all this BS on their resume. I could tell within 2 hours they weren't for us.
Yeah.
And when I tell them that, they freaked out, you're POS, this and that.
Yeah.
I go, listen, you're just not for us. So when it comes to spotting value employees, my whole thing is because we're sort of a specialty restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I look for people that have a minimum 3 or 4 years experience.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hire someone that worked at TGI Fridays and be like, hey, I was a bartender and a server there and I want to get into fine dining. Well, I'm not going to waste a month training you.
Yeah.
When I need someone who knows about a little wine knowledge and everything else, so stuff like that is a big thing to watch out for. Yeah.
So make sure you've got people with experience already. And then talk about positive culture. How do you maintain a positive culture within your business? Well, because it's easy to slip, man.
No, I think a positive culture would have to be like, so my chef is amazing. I love my chef and he's a very positive guy. We had some chefs in the past that just talk down to people, and you can't talk down to people.
Yeah, because it's culturally, that's where.
Yeah, the restaurant business, it's like people just like talking down to people because they think like, oh, I own this place, or I got the chef coat on and this and that.
Or they've done the hours and that's how they were treated.
And you can't be a dick, and I try to talk on the same level or up to people. I have some young employees right now. been with me 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm training them to serve and whatnot.
Okay.
And I'm like, listen, they look at me as like the owner. They don't really look at me as the server. And my oldest brother was probably the best server in regards to sales that I've ever met in my life. He worked at the restaurant the first 3 years, then he went on to the strip. And, you know, during the 2008 market crash, crazy story, he sold over $1 million in food and beverage sales, working 4 days a week for Wolfgang Puck.
Jeez.
So
wow.
That's like crazy. He could sell ice to an Eskimo, you know, in the Arctic, and they would buy it from him. He's that good.
Yeah.
So I always tell like these people, I go, listen, I'm like, in order to do something right for the customer, this is what you have to do. And funny thing, you bring this up to bring up like the culture and everything. The reason why we've been in business for 43 years is because we don't screw the customer. You go to some restaurants, and especially now, it's disgusting to see, especially in this town in Las Vegas, how they'll charge you $6 upcharge to have your martini dirty.
Yeah.
That's a 5 to 10 cent fucking olive juice, and you're charging me 50x for it? Like, really?
Yeah.
So I was explaining to this young server, and I go, listen, she hosts a couple nights a week, and she took this phone call for this catering order yesterday. And I was driving back down from Northern Nevada. I text the person who wants to place this order. He gives me the order. And I go, how many people are you having? He goes, 12 people. I go, I'll call you when I get back into town. I get to the restaurant after my drive back into town. The server's there who answered the phone yesterday or Monday. I go, this is what the guy ordered, and this is how many people he has. I go, show me what's wrong with this picture. She goes, looks like it's too much food. I'm like, he ordered food for the amount of 30 people. I go, our whole thing, I go, I can sell him the food and make an extra 30%. But I want this guy to order from me 4 more times this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the culture is not screwing people over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If you've been working harder and harder and still feel like the profit isn't there, maybe it's because no one ever showed you where to look. The 5 profit levers will help you spot the hidden blocks and show you how to pull the right levers to finally make progress. Imagine what would change if you knew where the real problems were and how to fix them. Are you ready to take that first step? Check the show notes for the link.
Another example would be like, I have one Merlot on my wine list, and we have it by the glass too. So as we all know, Merlot sales went down when that movie Sideways went out. And, you know, people think they can go to a restaurant and just order regular ass Merlot for $10 nowadays. Well, this is a single vineyard Merlot. It's $28 a glass.
Yeah.
I always tell my employees, if someone orders Merlot, tell the people that it's $28. Because the last thing they need is a heart attack.
Yeah, when they get the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole, like, I feel that part of the culture is making sure that the customer feels comfortable there.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big aspect of our culture, and promoting quality Italian cuisine, ingredients, a lot of it that we get imported in from Italy, and just something unique that you don't see anywhere else.
So when something happens, when there's a mistake made inside the business, or a team member hasn't done something right, or there's an error made, how is that dealt with culturally? How do you deal with it? How do your team deal with it?
So I'm there 6 days a week typically, so I usually talk to the person, and you know, I always give everybody a warning. If it's a big enough mistake, then we have issues. But usually we don't have big enough. There hasn't been a big mistake in probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So I usually talk with them, with my wife, who also works at the restaurant, or if they're the manager who was on that day, we would set up a meeting and talk to them. Yeah.
So it's about having a discussion.
Of course.
Find out what went wrong.
Figure out what went wrong, what happened, and then address the issue and try to work it. If it doesn't work out, then, you know, suspensions might happen, but we rarely suspend people. So
yeah, okay. What does your day look like? Like, what do you have rituals for yourself that you go through every day that, you know, how do you look after you to make sure you're showing up as the best leader for the team?
Absolutely. So recently, in the past 6 to 8 weeks, I started working out again.
Okay.
I used to be an avid cyclist in my 20s, and then just work, got a little bit too far ahead.
It's a common pattern that we hear is that we always sacrifice our own health and our own body for the business. And And then at some point we go, oh, I have to get back in.
And I think after you turn 40 and you wake up and you haven't felt certain pain in certain areas before, you're like, oh shit, I need to start working out. So I started working out again about 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
One of my rituals is sort of before I go to bed, I figure out what my next day is going to be, execute it. One thing that my wife and I do, we have 3 big calendars on the side of our wall in our office, our home office. So we write down like schedule things, what's happening. I'll give you a typical Tuesday of mine. This is something that I talk to industry friends. They still think I'm crazy about it, but I don't care. I'm sort of a crazy kind of guy. I show up at the restaurant 7 o'clock every Tuesday.
Okay.
Because my meat, produce,
yep,
liquor deliveries, dry goods delivery. I get like 5 to 10 deliveries on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like to show up is because I like to look at the product and everything. My father taught me that trade. My meat drivers are like, you and 3 other places open up their meat to check it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you never know. One time I'll give you a good example. One time I get this beautiful veal, Palmeri white veal, beautiful. I opened up the box and I saw something wrong with one piece, sent back.
Yeah.
So certain things like that, you just have to be on top of it because my dad showed me what kind of quality we used back then. And I still got the same meat broker for 38 years that we used. I still have the same produce company for 12 years.
Okay.
So a lot of the things is my daily routine. I'm usually working like 3 doubles a week just to make sure that the quality and everything is top notch.
What do you think the key is having a long-term relationship with a supplier, but also maintaining, the quality is a big thing, which is a standard, but how do you maintain your pricing structure to be competitive? Because obviously produce has gone up. Everyone's had price rises across the board. How have you kept the business sustainable while that's happening without price shopping your competitors to other suppliers or other vendors?
I was waiting for this question.
That's good. Well, I'm glad.
So the funny thing about this question is we used to have a fax machine at the restaurant.
Yeah. That was a few years ago.
And it was about 4 years ago I finally threw it out.
Really? I reckon if you held it for another 4 years, you could have probably sold it as a collectible.
Probably sold it on eBay for $3,000.
Yeah. As a collectible.
Like, cassette tapes are coming back. So anyway, so we used to get faxes every week from our produce and meat company giving you the prices. Usually came on Friday before Sunday order for Monday, whatever.
So you know what you're ordering, yeah.
So you look at it. So my dad taught me, he goes, Nick, you got to read through this thing. So now I get the emails. I get the emails for the meat Sunday night.
Because you threw out your fax machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get the emails for the produce Friday or Saturday now. So I look, right? I'm a fan of history, so I know numbers really well, dates. I still remember what shit cost before COVID in my head. And my wife thinks I'm a lunatic. I haven't deleted an email. I've got like, between all my emails, I think I got like 50,000 emails.
Yeah, okay.
And I still have emails from 2016 of how much shit cost.
Yeah.
Right? My mom recently moved. She had these filing cabinets that had all this business shit in it. I found invoices in there from when we first opened up the restaurant from 2001. Liquor, beef. And I'm like, things were 1/8 of what they cost now, you know, 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So to get back to your question is this, right? Since 2019, I've only done 3 modest increases on my menu. Because first of all, I'm a neighborhood restaurant, fine dining neighborhood restaurant.
Yeah. So your clientele's locals.
Local,
live
99% locals, 1% out of towners.
Yeah.
But I have to compete with the other restaurants that are based in the casinos. I have to compete with the other Italian restaurants. The thing is, I'd rather give quality product at a fraction more than what my competitor is charging than give the same shit that they're having at a little bit more because I have tablecloths. They don't have tablecloths. But guess what? I will hold up my chicken that I get.
Yeah.
I'll just use a simple example. My chicken Parmesan is $32 with homemade spaghetti, but I use organic chicken. My competitors are charging $27. They're using 40-pound random chicken breast that's pumped with hormones, sodium, water,
full of crap.
And you taste it and there's no flavor and it tastes like shit. So a $5 difference goes a long way.
Yeah.
Another good example is you can go to Restaurant Depot and buy salami made in somewhere in the United States for $3.50 a pound, right? Just say $4 a pound. But you can get Italian salami made in Italy by artisanals that have been around for 120 years for $6 a pound. Well, guess what? You can get a lot of slices of charcuterie on a pound.
Yeah.
And people would rather go back and be like, hey, this is the real deal versus, oh, this tastes like Hormel salami that was on any pizza place's pepperoni pizza type thing, you know? So the thing is, I truly, ever since I took over 4 years ago,
quality.
My wife and I go to Italy every year and a half. I visited my extra virgin olive oil farm that I get my olive oil. I visited the anchovy plant where I get my anchovies. I visited 15 wineries that I get my wine from. The thing is, if you can touch it and see it and you know good quality, people will be coming back.
Yeah.
Right? I have customers who come in consistently. I'm not joking. Some 4 or 5 times a week. Some several times a month. Because they go, Nick, I can't eat at other Italian restaurants in the neighborhood.
Yeah, because you've ruined it for everyone.
I love ruining it for everybody.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the most important is the quality. So to get back to your question, how do I keep the prices down?
Yeah.
I'll give you a good example of promotion we started doing. We started doing a thing called reverse happy hour, right?
I saw that.
Yes. So reverse happy hour works from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
Yep.
If you order a cocktail, mocktail, wine, beer, anything with the G logo on it, and I think I got 22 items out of 45 on my menu, you can get half off.
Okay.
You can get a chicken parm for $16. You can't even get a Bud Light in a casino for $16.
You are 100% right. It is fucking expensive.
It's expensive as shit.
It's ridiculous.
You can get a filet mignon, 8 ounce that we cut in-house. 5-6 choice, which is 1 grade off of Prime for $27.50.
Yeah.
The reason why I do stuff like that, because I do it on items that will want to bring people in, you know? Of course, I could do it on fettuccine Alfredo. But the problem, what you asked me before, is how do I justify my cost based off of inflation and pricing? Guess what? Since COVID, butter and heavy cream have not come down in price. They did a little bit during the election. But it's still a lot of money. So stuff like that, I'm not going to sell on reverse happy hour. But the thing is, you want to give people value. I find that value nowadays is far and few between. I'm not sure how long you've lived in Vegas, but I've lived here for 25 years. I went to UNLV in 2002 to 2007. As a college kid nowadays, I'm sorry. It's pretty fucked up. But when I was in college, you can have a great time.
For not a lot of money.
For $40 or $50. All night long. Right? So my whole thing is I want to give quality food, quality service, and old Vegas style deals to people. Where you can't find that stuff anymore. You know? I feel that making money in the restaurant business is easy if you know what you're doing. It is hard if you have one thing against you, and that is location. Have to be in the right location.
All right.
Thank God my parents were smart enough to open up in Calabasas in 1981 with 6 seats in the restaurant. When we sold it, we sat 200.
Wow.
But the reason why is because my dad was a maitre d' and waiter at the #1 Italian restaurant in Beverly Hills. And he asked all the people, where do you live? And all these movie executives, lawyers, doctors say, we live in Calabasas. We just come here after work. So my dad goes, I'm going to open up in Calabasas.
So they got somewhere to go.
Somewhere to go. We opened up this location here because we realized that South and West Henderson is going to be booming one day.
Yeah.
When we opened up the restaurant in 2002, Henderson only had 115,000 people. Now they have 370,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So the thing is, you have to know your demographics and location. You're not going to be, and here's a good example. They opened up a place in our shopping center, like the Korean hot dog on a stick, right? 40% of the population in Henderson are retirees. They either take Lipitor or some other shit for their cholesterol, and they're not going to eat hot dog on a stick. And the place lasted 7 months, right?
But then they also wonder why they only lasted 7 months.
Yeah. I think to be successful in this business,
yeah,
the first thing is you got to wake up and have passion.
Yep.
If you don't have passion,
you got to love what you do.
Love what you do.
Love who you work for.
Love who you work for. My biggest gripe is sometimes you get people who don't know the restaurant business from their hand to their ass, but they got money. Yep. And they'll have people, they'll be like, hey, here's like the guy who closed all those restaurants that cheated their employees.
Yeah.
He got a doctor that was a customer of mine to give him $1 million to open up one of his restaurants, and the dumbass gambled it all. Okay. So the problem is you can give people money to open up a restaurant, right? But if they don't have skin in the game too, it won't last.
Yeah.
Last year was probably my hardest year in business and just working in the restaurant.
Why?
I remodeled my bar. It was supposed to be a 6-week remodel. It took 13 weeks.
Fuck. Yep.
I was there. We started on the day of my anniversary. I was there every single day except for 3 days. I had to go out of town for a family wedding. My wife and I joked, now we almost got divorced. I was just a shitty person. Everything that went wrong sort of went wrong, but it's beautiful now. It looks like a masterpiece, like something that you'd bring from Italy to Henderson. But the thing is, what stressed me out the most was the longer that the bar took, the less money I was making in the bar.
Yeah.
I had a portable bar that we set up. But the problem is I got bar people. My bar is full 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Yeah. So when it came to funds for the bar, I saved up almost 2 years of capital for it.
Yep.
And I'm still paying it off little by little. But the thing is, it almost comes to a point where I financed it myself.
Yeah.
I didn't need outside people. And I think when it comes to restaurants, once you start getting outside people, that's when things become hairy.
Yep.
You know, it just all depends how big the project is. And if you're already successful owning restaurants, you can prove yourself with other concepts and whatnot. But I think when it comes to the restaurant business, you have to know a little bit about finance.
Yeah. Let's stick on this for a bit because we see, obviously we work with a lot of restaurant owners around the world, and we've seen all different walks of life. You know, people similar to you taking over a business that's, you know, been there for 40 years, and we have to come and bring it into the new age of how to do business. Right. Then also successful people who have been contractors or builders or, you know, doctors, and they're like, yeah, I really, really like drinking beer, so I'm going to open up a brewery. And then they open up a bar, and then it doesn't go so well because they don't know the business behind it. And then we see other people who will invest in people. And I say invest in people because that's what you're doing. We'll put all this money into going into partnership with someone in a restaurant or a bar. And then they're like, we're not getting our return.
Right.
So if there's someone in that position, how could we help them today by giving them some information? Where would you start if you're talking to someone in that position who's gone into business, probably doesn't really know the numbers, not making the money they're meant to be making, or is invested in a business? What should they be looking at? What should they be doing?
I always say Rome wasn't built in one day.
Yeah.
You have to take, you know, it's like the restaurant business. It's like the stock market. Mm-hmm. Stocks aren't going to go like this every day. You look at the charts, it goes up and down.
Yeah.
That's the restaurant business. When I did my bar, we had this big debate on how much would she charge for cocktails? Should we do this? Should we do that? To make our ROI quicker.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Let's just charge our cocktails the same they were before the bar was open up.
Yeah.
Let's do a killer happy hour from 4 to 6.
Let's just get more people there.
And get more people in. So I believe in order to run a very successful business, and here I'm talking about the fine dining side of things. I'm not talking about, a burger joint.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like burger joints or whatever. There's too many of them and they're saturated market.
Yeah. Why? Because it's easier to open a burger joint.
It's easier to open it up. If you take fine dining, for example, that's not in a casino, right? Because a lot of them are in this town. So you have to look at it that way. You have to look at your margins almost 3x.
Yeah.
Certain items 4 or 5. Because you just need to get that volume. Wine's the easiest example. A wine costs $20.
Yep.
Don't charge $100 for it. If you charge $100 for it, it's just going to sit in the refrigerator and collect dust.
Yeah. Yep.
Just charge $65.
Yeah. You're
Charge
still
$70.
making money, but just move more stock.
Use more stock. And then with the purveyors, the more you buy, the lesser of a discount you get.
Yeah.
So I feel when you have people who come in, they want skin in the game. They want to open up a restaurant. The problem is most of those people do not understand that restaurant margins are low. There are certain months where, you can have 0% return.
Yeah.
There's some months you can have 20% return.
Yeah.
You just, if you have a consistent business, you sort of know what your returns are.
Yep.
But the problem, a lot of the things that have been going around on social media and Reddit and everything is, 30% of your gross sales is going to payroll.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then the other 30% is going towards product.
Yeah.
Or maybe 40% is going to product and alcohol and booze. And then the other 10 or 15 is going to rent and insurance and all that other stuff.
Yep.
So how much more you have left?
Not a lot.
0 to 12?
Yeah.
But most likely it's in the middle of 5%.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's just a long-term progression. Because the problem is, especially nowadays, and I notice it a lot, is all these places open up and they get hyped up. Oh, a lot of influencers go there, or a lot of the decor is very influencery and this and that, and they have this smoke shit and something lights on fire and have something dripping in butter and cheese like you need a coronary heart attack in the middle of the night. So the problem is there's a lot of things and I'll put it on record. There's been some influencers who come to the restaurant, very nice people. But the problem is that the hospitality industry has focused more on that.
Yes.
Rather than focusing on their core.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I had one influencer tell me, and I looked at her and I pretty much told her to get out. She goes, "You need to do this with your dish and it will get more views." I go,
everyone's an expert.
I go, I don't care how many views it gets. All I care that it tastes good.
Yeah.
And if it looks like some kid doing an art fucking project on my dish, fuck off. I'm sorry.
No, I get that. No, I respect that.
But I think that's the problem. What's happening in the industry
is there's a new culture of people coming through.
Yeah, and you get somebody, who comes in and like a doctor or a lawyer or someone with money, and they're like, "Well, I want my restaurant to be like this." Okay, but it can't be like that.
Yeah,
because you need someone special to be the face of that.
Yeah,
are you going to stop making, just say, $1 million a year?
Yeah.
Cutting people up and doing surgery to work in the front of the house and make $100,000 a year?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Plus, they want to see you in the white coat, doing surgery rather than you in a suit, not knowing your hand from your ass.
Yeah.
So that's the problem that's with certain parts of the industry.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I
100% agree. That's why we've got a business.
Yeah.
More people should. Yeah. If you don't know what to do in the restaurant industry, go and open a restaurant and then just come and pay us to help you.
And I had someone ask me recently too. It's pretty funny. They asked me, I'm thinking about opening up a restaurant. I get people ask me this all the time.
Yeah.
And I said, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When I got married to my wife, my vows, I said my first marriage was a restaurant and this is my second marriage. And everybody laughed and she didn't get it at that point.
Yeah.
Now she gets it.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, but
Yep.
it is what it is, you know? The thing is, when you want to open up something, you have to look at it like you're feeding dozens of families. And that's why during COVID, I worked 5 months straight.
Yeah,
because if I closed,
stuff.
if I closed, the delivery driver for this company wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
If I closed, the delivery driver for this company didn't get paid. I figured I was feeding over 150 people while we were open for COVID, making sure they got a paycheck.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of them don't think like that, but you have to.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's bigger than yourself as the owner.
Exactly.
And your success means that everyone else around you can be successful as well. And if you're losing money, you can't continue. It's just not sustainable.
Yes.
When we start talking about it's bigger than you, and at what point do you think someone should call it when their restaurant isn't working out, when they've made the error? Because I feel like in this industry, there's a lot of people that go and make mistakes, but because their ego and, you know, we're not here to fail or I'm not a quitter, they just keep going, where they could have just cut their losses and moved into something else faster.
This is why I want to get in consulting, because they can pay me 15 grand to tell them to cut it.
Yeah.
It's crazy as that sounds. The reason why people don't understand to quit is because they don't know how to run their books.
Yeah.
I do QuickBooks. Okay. At UNLV, I was a marketing major. I took 2 accounting classes. They still teach you accounting on that stupid T183 Texas Instrument calculator, but they don't teach you how to use QuickBooks.
Yeah.
They teach you calculus, but they don't teach you how to use QuickBooks.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I learned most of my QuickBooks from my mom and YouTube. And the thing is, if you don't know how to use QuickBooks, then you're going out of business. I'm sorry. Because you can't go back 8 months later and clean your books up and knowing that you're screwed. So the thing is, you have to be consistent running your books. You have to be
do it every day.
You have to do it every week, even if it's a Sunday morning. Who cares that football's on? Do your QuickBooks.
Yeah.
You have to know how to do QuickBooks. You have to know how to do marketing. You have to know how to, the food side is secondary if you don't know how to balance your books and marketing side of things.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do marketing, no one's going to come to you.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how
you can have the best restaurant in town, but if no one knows that you're there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is this community is very tight, but there's a lot of people in this community I don't talk to because I am so focused 100% with my business. I don't give a shit what anybody says about us.
Yep.
I don't care what other people do with their restaurants. That's their restaurants.
Yep.
If you're convicted in doing what you do best,
you're
going to be around for a long time.
So let me break this down. Customer service, quality product.
Yes.
Looking after your team and making sure that you're providing for them and getting them to where they need to be.
Yes.
No QuickBooks.
Yes.
And if you don't, you're already fucked.
Semi-fucked.
Yeah, semi-fucked.
Yes.
All right, only half fucked. And then once we got that right, then market.
I would say market before QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Because you could always learn QuickBooks while you're marketing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's a pretty simple summary.
I could write a book on how to run and operate a restaurant.
Yeah.
But the problem is people can read books all day long.
Yeah.
But if there's no action,
you got to go and do it.
You got to go and do it.
Yeah.
And there's one quick thing I want to end this real quick. The great Anthony Bourdain said in Kitchen Confidential, there's multiple vendors out there that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Sign up with all of them. Figure out what their pricing is. Because one day, pricing at one place could be a difference of $3 to $4.
Yep.
And that $3 to $4 can go a long way over 52 weeks.
Yeah.
And my father didn't have a high school education. He didn't know how to use a computer, but he had street smarts like you wouldn't believe. And he taught me cost control and pricing will get you further than anything else.
Yeah. Nick, my friend, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come
for
and
sure.
chat
For sure.
and inspire. I think it's so amazing that you've got so many long-term team members. You've brought on the family name and you've continued on. It's just such a pleasure. Thank you, my man.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure.